Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Hanging in there? Welcome everyone to the tradingsyndicate.org, and I'm JJ. Welcome, welcome to our Fed Day. So let's go see what's shaking. Hey, as expected, kind of a slow day, a little choppy. We had a liquidation the day before. So yesterday we had a liquidation at the end of the day. They took that cheap stuff, sold it at night over 7,600, put it back on sale. We keep finding bids near the close for now. We've entered that gap a couple of times yesterday and today. There's some buying down there. Let's see. I have no idea of whether we'll get into it or do one of these. Right now, inventory is long. So it's probably about 98% long. We should see some sort of liquidation. If we don't see liquidation, we know the market's bid. So if you don't get a liquidation in RTH, wait for 2 p.m., right? Because we might get a liquidation at 2. That's when the Fed decision comes out. Even though they're saying no change, who knows? It could be a little bit of a liquidation. We'll see, right? Hard to tell until it actually trades there, right? So right now, if you look at the market, it hits off those lows at the close, and the offer has been lifting all the way back up to 7,600. So that's what we're dealing with right now. It's slow, it's choppy, not the best trading environment, but it's a Fed day, right? It's a Fed day. You shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be over trading. You know, you should just be trying to make some cash. Overnight point of control is here. So we're taking the cheap stuff that we bought in the overnight. And now, if enough people are short, if enough traders are short underneath VWAP, right, we will get, you already see those green candles that I was talking about. I'm not sure if anyone watches the morning session. I know traders who make money watch the morning session before they come on to here. Sometimes you can't because of, it's early in the morning. You can already see that there was a position here, short covering, wholesale builds a position, retail comes in, start getting some movement to the upside. If enough people are short under 96, we'll get up to, we'll take out the threes and then we'll be looking for 7608. Now that will happen if inventory is long and it doesn't correct, right? What we're also looking for is if we get back down under 96 to come down to 91 and then try that low again. A lower move should happen because inventory is long. But right now I'm seeing bids. I don't know about you. What are you seeing? Oh, the president's speaking? Oh no. I don't like that. The only thing we could really do is let the chart tell us, right? So as Moran so aptly pointed out, there's a seller at 98, right? We know that to be true. There they are. They're right there, right? That is a fact. There's a fact. That is a fact that there's a seller at 98. People started to compete at 98, push price down to 96. Now let's see what happens when the next candle opens. It'll chop around a bit today. Hello, Crop. Welcome. Welcome to the room. Good to have you with us. So people who are just joining us, they're wondering, what the heck's on the right-hand side? What is all this? This is like a map of the city. So if we're in the city, we're in this neighborhood of 75, 98, 97. If you want to trade that, then this is a map of the neighborhood. So this is just, right? This is like we're just zooming in on that area here. This is telling us where the inventory is. You know, when you have inventory below you, you want to take it up and try and sell it, make some cash. You know, let's see. It'll be choppy. Margins are elevated right until 2, right? So it's a high margin environment, which means the brokerage firms raise the amount of money that you need to put down to trade. Okay, so what that means is if you paid, $400 for E-mini or $500, well, now you got to pay more, right? It's like 1,400 or something like that. I didn't even check it this morning. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I didn't even look at my email. I'm just assuming it's like, before a Fed, they're going to keep margins up. Yeah, $6,000 a contract. So if you're going to trade, you really want to make sure that it's worth it. So the brokerage firms are just protecting themselves from us. That's why they raise margin, right? They're raising margin to protect themselves from us. So, oof. It could be a slow morning. Guys, I won't be doing an 11 o'clock session with you today. We had a little issue with the recording of yesterday's podcast, and we have to redo it at 11:30. So, apologies. I'll do a session tomorrow. More of an execution workshop. It'll be at 11. There we go. Let's see if we can stay under 75.96. So the trading at night tonight has been very slow, very measured. Be very, very slow periods like this, and then a drop, and then this, and then a drop. Very, very mechanical trading. And what that means is that the machines are very exact. They know exactly where to start selling, where to stop. And then they drop the price to fill those orders, drop the price to fill orders, right? Back up. If we get enough people short under 96, we'll get over VWAP and stay over. But right now, I'm seeing sellers. I'm going to type this out before Steve comes on here. Right? Remember, inventory is long, right? So you should not be surprised. And I did a class. Right? Remember, I said, if you probably haven't watched it, but I did a class and I described the situation when somebody gets itchy fingers, boom, and they hammer it down just to get rid of their inventory, right? So being that inventory is almost 100% long and the price action is like that, that should not be a surprise. Okay? It's not a surprise that you had somebody come and bang it down. You'll expect that kind of thing. Okay? So if you're short up in the 94, 95 range, right now your backup is 94. Top of that candle. If the top of that candle starts to lift, if the offer starts moving up, it means the sellers have seen buyers, right? A gem. Yeah, can you just get rid of that? Because now Steve's gonna come on and start giving me shit about people telling people not to trade. Thanks, brother. Thanks. Okay. It is a good day to learn, okay? All right. Short the 94s, covered the 91s, right? Got a couple of left. I'll take them at 90. I'll buy them. I'll buy them. You'll sell them. I'm buying. I'm short 93. I got one left, and we're flat. Thank you. Short off the open. It's possible to trade, right? We saw a seller. Come on, guys. Right? Remember, you saw the seller, and then they got antsy, and the sellers are still at that same level. So I didn't even hit fours. I hit threes. Threes out here. Right? Couple of points here, a couple of points there. Right? Go with. Right? It is possible to trade. Now, and you can make money, but you have to know what you're doing. Right? So take this time to learn. Okay? It's not particularly volatile right now. Right? That was a decent short. And it set up that short. And if you guys had watched the video I had done for that execution class where I called out that short before it happened, it's the exact same scenario. Right? Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. You'll see the exact same things happen all the time because the business never changes. It hasn't changed in like 500 years. So it's not going to change in the next week, right? Looking for 86. If you're still short, you can stay short. We're looking to correct inventory down to 83. And if we're lucky, 81, right? If you're looking for a look below and fail, you'll be looking for 82. Just leave it alone right now. Let the large traders work it out. Okay? Because right now it's in the four times discount zone. Gets under 82. We start going and exploring that gap again. So that's 4 times, 2 times, 4 times, and then it'll be 8 times. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. We're just waiting to see if it comes down. Okay? It's a good day to learn. Look at the responsive buying coming in right at that stop. Would I buy that? No. I can see the short covering. Look at the size right at that stop. That is short covering. If that breaks now, we're looking for a print at 83. Okay? Okay, some bids here, right? This is short covering before yesterday's close. Now, I would not be buying this. What I'm thinking is when this happens, I'm thinking where are they going to sell into it? Are they going to sell here? Are they going to lower their offers? Or do they start seeing buyers and raise price? Right? So we're watching the offers going back and forth. I'm looking to see if we can offer over 89. Right? When the next candle opens in 13 seconds, I want to see where the top of that candle is. Can it take out 89? Here we go. Let's see. Watch. So the sellers are seeing buyers. They're raising price. Now this candle is open. See, it's not pushing lower. Not just yet. There it is. So now we know that there's sellers here. Just right at 89.5, there's a seller. If we lose that seller and you're short, then you got to cover, right? If you lose your backup, your seller is your backup. If you lose that and you're short, the market's going to rip up to 92. But maybe it might pause at 91, but most probably, if there's enough buying, it'll rip it to 92 and you'll get stopped out. See, watch. See? But it telegraphed that move because I drew the line. Look at it. I just told you that it would do that 30 seconds ago, right? Oh, 50. There you go. Didn't I tell you that was going to happen? How could I tell? Because I saw bids. I saw the sellers raising their offer. When they put their offer over there, I was like, oh, it's over. And just as soon they sell into it, right? This stuff, once you start noticing and paying attention, you'll be blown away by how much better your trading is going to be and how many things you're actually going to notice, and you're going to actually know what's going on instead of going, oh, it's random. It's not random. You can tell what's going to happen in a market before it happens. You just got to be really zoned in. and you got to know the market. That's why you should only trade one market, right? If you can't trade one market really well, why are you trying to trade six of them, right? Poorly, right? Do one thing, learn how to do it well, make it pay. Make it pay, right? Make those trades pay. Let's see if that 92 half seller is still there. Here we go. Now, if that seller's not there, we're going to creep this thing all the way back up to VWAP. Remember where we shorted it here? That's where, I mean, I was short here, but that's where we're going to come back to. And it's going to be rotational. Rotate up, rotate down, up, down, up, down. So all you now need to do is just zone in, find that zone, and trade it to the exclusion of everything else. Focus. You can do it. Right? Like, what's his name in The Water Boy? You can do it. Right? Come on. You guys have to have seen that film. Where are my rednecks? Right? You have to just focus. You gotta focus. You gotta focus. Focus, focus, focus. And we're coming right back. This, my friends, is a rotation. Don't worry, Matt. Let it settle in, man. Have another cup of coffee, right? Just chill into it, right? Don't stress now, right? That opening short was the only thing you saw. That was a great trade. That's more than 90% of people saw. So just chill. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, right? Yeah, it's still a period. We're only 10 minutes in. It feels like the market's been open for 2 hours, right? But we've only been open, for 10 minutes. Time slows down when you're not having fun. No, I'm just, seriously, right? It's only been 10 minutes. Got the whole day left, and you're up 4.5 points already, right? Lots of time. Now let's see where the next caper is, like those old movies from the 60s where they're going to knock off the bank. So now we just sit there and we rub our hands together and we go, okay, where are we going to hit them next, right? Like you're planning a heist. That's the mentality you should have when you're a retail trader. It's like you're planning a heist. So let's go and see where we can knock these guys off, make a couple of grand, and disappear before they even know it hit them, right? Now, the fact that it came to yesterday's close and stopped one tick shy, that makes me suspicious, right? Right? So that makes me suspicious. That means there's not enough size to break that 83. They all saw buyers were all lined up under 83, so they just lifted the offer right away. Very rude. They just ran away. Right? They came to open the door of the store and then they ran away. That's what that is. Now let's see if they sell into the 89s. Where are they going to sell into it? That tells me a little bit about the business of the morning. It's okay if you miss trades. See, what I'm looking for, what I'd really love is this. I'd love to get a zone like this that we could just trade back and forth. If we could just go like this, back and forth, that would be beautiful. I'd love that. You know? Let's see if we get up to the 92s and they sell into it, right? And if you haven't drawn your balance and just, you're starting trading that day for the day, then, give it a shot, see if it works, right? Draw the little level there and see if it's reactive. This is how I learned how to do this. Nobody teaches you how to do this on short time frames. Dalton taught it once on a longer time frame, and he didn't even draw it out. He just said it, and then he never said it again. Like he gave away the secret, right? So now let's see if it gets over 92 and comes back down. That means the seller's still there, right? So if the seller's still here, if sellers are still here, here, that's a good thing, right? Because if it looks above and fails, then you can short, put your stop here, and then cover some down here in the 89s. Let's see. Let's see what it does. Here we go. Where's our seller? Right? They let it breathe. Now, if this thing lifts the offer and takes out 94, then you know that box is not valid anymore, right? And it hits VWAP and it keeps going. That could happen. What's supposed to happen is that sellers are supposed to come in somewhere here and push it back in. And that's when you want the short. See? First scenario. Right? That is somebody who shorted in here, went to cover, and they just ripped the book. So that tells you about the order flow, right? That means that the sellers are, they're seeing buyers. When the sellers see buyers, they run price up, right? That's what I'm looking to see, Tim. Now, when the next candle opens, look to see if it gets over VWAP and stays. Look, someone's got an appetite. Okay. Now let's see. There were sellers here at 96 before that caused. They were the sellers off the open. Are they still there? Most likely. The buyers here, the sellers here. If we have enough people short under 92, we'll take out that 98. Watch the offer. If there's not enough of a short bid, we will come back underneath VWAP in the next candle or two. There we go. If we stick the 99s and we get past 7,600, you're looking for 76.03. Right? If you're long, nice. 3 points, perfect jam, perfect. See, it was tradable, right? There you go, brother. See, you just made 3 points that you wouldn't have made. Right? It's tradable. We know what we're doing now, right? I used to say people don't trade. That's when our room was new and we didn't have a lot of really good traders in our room. Right? So I used to tell people I used to always sound like a nervous Nelly because I hate people losing. I hate seeing people lose money. But then once I got to understand how to teach better and you knew there's different levels. If your setup is there, take it, go for it. Right? If you don't know what you're doing, then be hesitant. If you do know what you're doing, then Jesus, just go for it. Because there's some not bad trades, I did even okay off of Globex. Off the open, I should say. That short was nice. A few contracts here and there, and you're done. And someone was asking me, why do you stop? Well, I stop because I've made a decent amount, so I stop. Now, what I'll do is I'll be looking at the chart and I'll go, if it gets up here or if it gets down here, and then I'll wait for that. If it doesn't happen, then I don't trade the rest of the day. But if a setup that I am stalking, if I'm looking maybe for a look below and fail of the previous day low, I'll wait around for that. I don't like giving back profits. It's not how we were taught the business. Exactly, Elsie. KSC sellers at 98, 96, right? We're waiting here. Now, I have no idea what it's going to do here. And it's a Fed day. If this thing can hold over VWAP, and you see the bottom of this candle couldn't even get down close to VWAP, right? Then most probably the sellers see that they're going to be buyers and they're going to at least go 98 on the offer. Now, if we can see we ran out of buyers again, the offer comes down, right? Then it goes back up. So it's choppy, right? This candle is not telling me anything. Do I have to trade it if it's not telling me anything? No, right? I got no direction here. I got to wait. Let's see what happens in 10 seconds when the next one opens. I got time. I can spare 10 seconds, right? So if this next candle opens, there we go. Watch the bottom of that candle. If that candle can't get lower than 96, we have a good chance that buyers are stepping in, right? If the low of this candle stays up here, see, there we go. Watch that, but just watch. So now that candle has told you that if you're waiting for a breakout, right? If you're trying to buy a breakout of 98, that candle just told you we had to lower prices, man. Sorry. If you bought 97, I'm sorry. The candles are trying to talk to you, right? The ask or the offer is the one that's leading price. So as the market goes lower, right, the sellers are competing to grab whatever buyers there are. And the buyers kind of wisen up and they drop their buying prices. They drop their bids, right? So let's see if we get down to that 92 level and it holds. Now, if it comes in hard, wait for the next candle. Wait for the next candle. If the next candle opens underneath 92 and a half and stays under 92, it will be a short down to the middle here and then down to here. And that's the rotation you were looking for. If it stays above 92 and a half, don't take that short, right? Watch this trade, make sure you sell into strength, right? So I saw that I bought 92, I bought 93 real quick, and I got a couple of contracts left to go. I'm long 93 and 3/4. I'm just selling them at 95 here, right? They want them, they can have them. I got 2 left. I'm on the offer at 97. I'm off. I'm on the offer at 97 1/4. I'm gone. I'm flat. Okay. I wanted to short. I wanted to short if it got under 92 and a half. When I saw that it couldn't break, I bought the 93s and I put my stop under 92.5. And then I just hammered it, right? As soon as I'm long, my sell orders are out, right? When I trade retail, I trade like when that Swiss banker used to call me at 3 in the morning screaming. He'd be just screaming his orders. Leave night, 200,000 to work at 5 3/8. Don't F it up. I mean, and with this really strong Swiss accent. So as soon as my bid is filled, I'm out. It's like a hot potato, Milo. It's like a hot potato. I don't want it. I just want to touch it and throw it. How do you know it was going to bounce back like that? Because remember the box that I drew here, Attila? Good question. Excuse me. Sorry. This red candle came into the box. And then when the next candle opened, it couldn't get in under 92.5. So I knew to get long. I was looking to short down here. Then I saw, ooh, there's a bid. I'll get long and go with. It's not 100% obvious at first. Then once you start looking at the market this way, it'll become very obvious. Very obvious. See the bid's still there, 92.5. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Long 93 out 94.25. Maybe another one at 95. Thank you, goodbye. Right? Just in and out. I am not a long-term player. This is like speed dating. You could call it speed trading. Two things it's going to do. It's going to get your reflexes up to speed. Right? It's going to get your reflexes up to speed. Number two, you're going to learn how to get out of bad trades quickly because your reflexes will be fast. Right? Number three, you can make some money on a Fed day when everyone's too scared to trade. See what I'm saying? It does happen subtly for you guys. After a while, though, Tristan, after seeing it, it'll start looking obvious, right? But there are subtle little things in these candles. At first, they're very kind of nobody actually even believes. When I point it out, people won't believe me. But when you see things like that, you see the top of that candle, the top of this candle, you can see that the sellers are here, right? They were here, now they're here. The next candle opens, let's see where the top of that candle is. Because there now we get that nice big liquidation down again, right? But look, it bid the same area. So every time we get down under 92.5, bid, bid, bid. Will that last? Let's see. This is telling us about our customers. This here is accumulation. This is distribution. And if we have to, we'll put it on sale back to where we bought it. Right? That's all it is. It's just a sales chart. You know, you're just selling contracts. It could be apples or oranges or whatever you want to sell. It's just a sales chart. So every time we come to 92, they stop selling. Why? Because their buyers sitting there under 92 going, gimme, gimme. So they tease them and they make them try and pay more. Now, eventually, somebody's going to go and hit the bids like here and go to hell with it. Because I paid 87 for it. I can still sell it down to 89 and still make money. Right? Yeah, that's okay, Matt. That's good. Right? And you're a fairly quick trader. right? So you can stay on that offer, right? You just ride that offer, right? Just keep riding it all the way down. This is this is how traders used to trade in the old days. Once a stock started going down, they would short it. They would all pile on short. And as soon as they saw it started to level off, they would cover and go long. Right? So what you're doing there, especially when you get some nice big candles like that, it's beautiful. Right? You get some nice big candles, you get a thin order back, and if you know what you're doing, you can make a nice 20 to 50 points a day on 3 to 4 contracts. You're making a living. Right? So basically what you're doing is it's like old school, right? Let's see if we do a look below and fail of 85. Right? So if you're trading micros, and I made my money, so I'm gonna screw around with the micro. I'm not touching it until it comes underneath 82 and back up, or back up over 85. So just wait for it. Got 6 seconds for the next candle to open. Let it. See, my problem is I always get into trades too early because I had to be fast, right? And when you're trading out stock, you don't make the same mistakes as retail. Here we really can't afford to be wrong a lot, and we can't afford to be wrong for size, right? Like, you can't go around losing 5 grand, 10 grand a day. That You'll go bankrupt, right? So now if you're buying this here, right? Right, I jumped the gun and I bought, what did I buy? 85. No, I bought 86. 86 and a quarter is where I'm long, right? I'm going to put an 87 and a half sell order out there. And if we take out this, I'm going to scratch it, right? I'm out, right? I'm early, right? So that was one micro. I bought at 86, out at 84 and a half or a quarter, right? But I'd rather take that loss quickly, right? Take the loss quickly, right? No point holding on to onto a bad trade. You bought inventory, it's mispriced. You misjudged it. It happens. That's business, right? You win some, lose some, keep fighting. The trick is not to get into a habit of losing, and the trick is to win more than you lose. So when you lose, you take small losses, right? So that was like $5 or $10 or whatever it was. It's not going to kill me, right? If I made a grand today and I lose $20 trading micro, that's not bad. When do I remove the box? I hadn't thought about it, Moran. I was kind of got off on a tangent. So I actually hadn't thought of when to remove the box. So now we're under, where are we here? We're under 82. There's a look below a look below the overnight low. Now this is the trade I'm waiting for, right? I'm supposed to be signing off now, naturally. So I'm looking for a look below and fail of 78. That's what I'd love. Right? Oh, you bastard. You bastard. Forced me to buy 80. And I bought 75.80. Just a couple of micros. And I'm selling them here. Yeah. I'm out in the 83s. I've got, what do I got here? I got 3 left. Hey, they're taking them at 85. What the hell, eh? Why not? Beautiful. I'm flat. There we go. Now, my perfect trade would have been this, but I said, oh, what the hell? It's going. Hop on it, take it, run it, sell into it. Anywho, that's it for me today. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, you know what, Tim? The best trades feel like you're a little late. Now, there's a reason for that, right? Ancient paper hanger secret. The reason is you're letting the other people do all the heavy lifting. You know, like when you're moving and you guys are lifting the couch, there's always one friend who's like carrying like a small house plant. You know, everybody else is sweating, you know, carrying this couch up 10 flights of stairs. You've always got one buddy and he's like, oh, look, a picture, and he's carrying it, right? Like he's doing a big job. You want to be that guy. You want to be the weasel. Let everybody else do the heavy lifting, and then you step in, grab 4 or 5 points, say thank you, very nice, and go. Let the others do the work, right? Be selfish with your money when you're trading. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye for now. Oh, I'll be back when the Fed's on. I'll be in the room. If you guys are bored, I'll hop on. If not, we'll see you later.